We got another episode of The Wire. Uh, ooh, I think I'm up to six now. I'm not 100%, but it'll be in the description. Trust me. um, I'm kind of at a loss here, man. They killed off a character. I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about D first and foremost before I give an overview of this particular episode. So, look, I have not invested in a lint roller, and all I have is black shirts. One day I might, uh, One day I might show my closet. I literally only have black shirts, besides my work uniforms. So, all my videos have me wearing a black shirt or uh, a, a, a work uniform, my work uniform. But anyway, um, so this character was killed off just just for the suspicion of him turning, because he tried to turn before. So it's kind of like playing the stock market. I hate to compare the two, but it's kind of like playing the stock market. You're gonna go off. You have to move off educated guesses or educated predictions or whatever you want to call it. But he tried to jump ship, and not only did he try to jump ship, he tried to throw everybody underneath the boat while he. Well, actually, that's the wrong phrase. He tried to stay on the ship, but in order for it to stay afloat, he wanted his own personal ship. Uh, I should have thought about that before I said it right. So he wants to get to his own life raft, but it can't fit everybody in his family, so he's going to throw all of them under that mother. That makes sense the first time, but they wind up just he hired somebody outside the family or with no connection to him in order to what is it? It's not to strangle him with a piece of leather, like a leather belt or something like that. And I'm watching it like kind of uh, being put together and happen. I'm like, oh man, they finna kill off D, man, not D. I'm surprised they showed it like that. That's actually really good, and it's powerful the way they did it, because they they started off early in the episode by him comparing his own life to that of a character from a really popular, is it yes, a really popular book. They made it into a movie. It's called The Great Gatsby. I guess it's one of the it's a American literary classic, I feel like. But anyway, he's comparing his life to that of that character, but he's saying you can't really change who you are. So I guess you gotta you have to pay for your sins. I feel like I guess that's what he was trying to get at. I guess the right way is paraphrasing. I'm really paraphrasing that. He went a little bit deeper. That's why it's worth it to watch this series. He went a little deeper, but that's basically what he was saying. You know, because of the situation he's in, he's got 20 years, and Avon's working his magic in order to reduce that sentence, but he's in no rush to get back on the outside. He hates that life. You can tell that. Well, you can really tell it in this last episode, but you can tell that. Well, at least I saw that. I'm not no psychic or nothing like that, but as far as it's a fictional show, but I'm rambling. Let me slow down for a minute. You could see that this character didn't want no parts of the lifestyle that his family was involved in. Family plays a big part in this series overall, and to see that character go, I wasn't shocked, but I was like, man, they did it so good though. It was just a great kill off. I have to admit that. So now let me try and give an overview of this episode. So I've got the guy's name. His name is Nico. He's I guess, is he the nephew? Yeah, I'm really bad at family trees, or know where family members are and stuff like that. But he's the nephew of the guy who's head of the port, and he's, of course, his cousin is the one who I feel like is a liability. Now these two guys are still um, making moves on their own, basically outside of the guy of the port. I guess he knows, but he doesn't really know. So they're making moves outside of him, and he's got his own ambitions. His name is Nico, I think, or that's his nickname or something like that. His ambition is to be a father and a husband to this girl. What I mean? He wants to be a father to the child he had with this girl. He wants to buy a house, but he wants to buy a specific house, and the house is like 340,000. Now he's starting to get into drugs. He's moving all these chemicals. He's shucking and jiving, but I feel like, man, he's setting himself up for disaster. Still dealing with that cousin of his. He is just not. He is the biggest liability. I think that's a great contrast right there. So you've got D on one hand, who's pretty much been a solid stand-up individual for that family, but he's made a decision that he doesn't want. He no longer wants to do it, but for some reason they don't want to honor it. I mean, he did try and send everybody up the river, though. That's let's be honest. He did try and do that, but I feel like at that point, after he agreed to whatever and decided to take those 20 years, you don't necessarily want to do all your time, but he was happy. He was finding peace in what he was doing. He struggled a little bit, but they still eliminated him just for the fact that he might flip again. And now on the other side, you have these two cousins, and one is just he's a royal fuck up, right? And for whatever reason, just because they have the same blood, you don't want to push them away from the business that you're doing, and you don't want to eliminate them. You're gonna pay for it. That's the way I see it. Um, Now I guess we can take a look at the cops. So I mean, with this old crew back together, they are making so many. They're getting so many results. I mean, they're just good. They're just good cops. Um, what else was I gonna say about them? Oh, McNutty, McNulty. He got his little heart broke. I guess I could talk about that for a few seconds. He got his little heart broke, thinking he's just gonna get back with his wife. Why is that always the case in these TV shows that I'm watching and in movies? Why is it always the case that the man feels like he could do one or two things and everything is gonna go back to the way it was? It's like you broke some trust boundary with your partner, and it's not going to be repaired with a band-aid. I don't know. I don't think like that. I mean, not all the time. I can't say I'm not guilty of thinking like that in the past. I won't say that. I definitely won't say that. But it's just odd that he would think that. He got his little heart broke. She's like, I mean, she's pretty clear about what she said. They wind up having intercourse, and she's like, "This is a fuck for the road." And he's like, "Okay." And the next morning, he's like, "Yeah, I'll sit down here. I'll wait for you to come back with the kids. We can go out. We can do this. We can do that. I'll bring my stuff back." Blah 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 blah. It's like, whoa 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 whoa. Pump your brakes there, McNutty. This ain't that type of party. She's pretty clear what she said. I mean, I don't know, but hey, relationships is one of those. It's one of those. I'm smiling because it's really one of those one of the most complicated manners that a human being could probably. It's one of the most complicated manners that a human being is going to encounter in life, whether it be with a partner or a friendship or even a work relationship or a neighbor for that matter. But anyway, where else was I going with this? Yeah, the two cousins down at the dock, they're doing their thing. Oh, I'm talking about the cops. I apologize. I got sidetracked on McNutty. So yeah, his old partner, he's he's succumbing to the pressure of this case. I mean, they've always showed him on to be a little rocky, but I wonder if he's the next character to get cut from this series. Be interesting. Maybe they're gonna have something pop up in the future that I'm not expecting. I don't know. I can't call this one. It's not overly predictable. I strapped myself in. I'm along for the ride. I'm enjoying it so far. Um, yeah, but he's kind of like having a downfall. But I think this character's been portrayed like this in previous episodes. Like he overdoes it when it comes to liquor. I mean, I feel like liquor has it, it's a vice that plays a big part in a lot of these characters. Which I find not odd, but just personally, I'm just trying to associate it with my personal life. I don't particularly like liquor that much, and I don't really use it as a maybe as an escape. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a little too personal now, but like I said, the police are actually they're doing great work. Oh, I almost forgot. I should talk about Omar and his testimony in the case against that guy. They succeeded and put that guy away for life for murder, and technically he wasn't even there. But seems everybody in the jury and in the courtroom definitely got a kick out of his testimony. Um, I wonder what's gonna happen to that character after this. It's interesting to see that. Oh, should I talk about? Is what he did considered snitching? Oh man, I don't think so. From what I understand, the definition of snitching is if two individuals commit a crime together and one tells on the other one, that's snitching. Now, if a person commits a crime and you happen to be doing dirt, I think it's rat like behavior, but I don't feel like it's snitching necessarily because you're both in that world and you know you shouldn't be doing that. But you know he's doing it to he's doing it to as a form of vengeance for the brutal slaying of his lover. So you got that. That's pretty much his only reason to do it. I'm saying I can understand that, but I think it's rat like behavior. I don't necessarily think it doesn't fit the exact definition of snitching. But it's interesting to see him going to court, not necessarily know how to tie. I mean, I don't know how to tie a tie, but you know, hey, whatever. Maybe I'm ranting too much. So this might be my last video for a few days. Uh, I'll be back to regular videos shortly. And if you like this video, there's plenty more on my channel that you can check out.